Gordon Parks was an American photographer, filmmaker, composer, author, and poet who is well known in the U.S. documentary photojournalism field. His photos mostly consisted of civil rights issues and glamour photography, and is best remembered for his famous photos of poor Americans during the 1940s. He later on worked on photographic essays for Life magazine. The first photo, titled Hercules Brown, taken in Somerville, Maine in 1944, was when Parks was hired by the Standard Oil Photography Project, in which he was assigned to take pictures of small towns and industrial centers. This photo is taken in black and white and uses harsh lighting. It depicts a middle-aged man facing the camera head-on with his arms crossed. He wears his working clothes, a hat, and a smoking pipe is in his mouth. Hercules being the center of the photo makes him the obvious focal point, and the sidelight that illuminates his face reveals his wrinkles, and the shadow of the brim of his hat overcasts his eyes, giving him a more stern look. The eye-level shot gives a sense of equality between Hercules and the viewer, and the headshot provides a type of traditional portrait. This reinforces Brown's strength, stability, and self-assurance. His direct, steady gaze gives him a quiet authority. And though there is a background, the slight blur visually separates Hercules from his environment. The second photo, titled Outside Looking In, taken in Mobile, Alabama in 1956, was shot during Parks' photo essay for Life magazine on segregation in the American South. It depicts a group of young black children behind a chain-link fence looking through it. On the other side is a fair or an amusement park. The children facing the amusement park with their backs turned give a mix of curiosity, hope, and resignation. This photo was taken to document racial tensions in the South. The fence serves as a barrier between the whites-only park and the children, further highlighting the segregation and racism embedded in the South. The depth makes the distance between the children and the park seem far away, implying that integration is also a long ways away. And us being behind the children and the fence gives us a similar perspective as to what they are feeling and experiencing. The final photo, titled Crime Suspect with Gun, taken in Chicago, Illinois in 1957, was shot during Parks' photo essay for Life magazine on youth crime in Chicago and was shot in color. It depicts a criminal in a room holding a gun aimed downward. The room in the back provides a backlight that gives the subject a more ominous look due to the lack of features. The gun and body are both easy to identify due to the lighting and forces a viewer to see both elements at once. The gun pointing at the ground rather than at the camera shows a lack of hostility and that the photo is more of a type of symbolism. Parks' work is important because he uses black and often unnoticed subjects and shows them with complexity and dignity, challenging economic, racial, and cultural injustice via visual storytelling, shows that photography can be both aesthetic and political, and blurs the line between both documentation and art in photography. His works add a black American perspective in a field dominated by white voices, perseverance in showing resilience, empathy, and complexity in subjects often stereotyped or ignored, and his use of visual metaphors like fences and reflection in non-fiction storytelling. All three photos consist of ethically evaluative and interpretive photography. Hercules Brown and Outside Looking In consist of descriptive, and Crime Suspect with Gun consists of aesthetically evaluative. Parks used natural light, a 35mm camera, medium format cameras, and various lenses that matched the needs of the shots and what story he was telling. Parks' works are able to humanize the overlooked, so the subjects are seen as people rather than stories. He was able to challenge social norms, ask moral questions, and expose injustice, and he was able to broaden the boundaries of what photography could represent.